Hello, welcome to Bad Music Taste and the Ways to Ruin Your Life. My name is Dominic.
And my name is Sam.
Sam has this week's record.
This week's record is the soundtrack to the movie Rock and Roll High School and was released on April 20th, 1979. The copy I have here is a repressing on red vinyl. But anyways, today we're talking to Todd Friend from H2O. How are you, Todd?
Doing good, thank you. How are you all?
Great.
Yeah.
I just want to start off by saying amazing t-shirt.
Awesome.
Doug is a great friend of ours.
Yeah.
Yes, he hooked up, guys. We were supposed to play shows with him in March and April, and everything kind of went crazy, as it still is kind of going crazy. But we were supposed to play with him back in April. Toby, my singer, our singer's 50th birthday party was in April, and they were supposed to play the show. But who knows? Who knows when that's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, like there were so many shows scheduled for this year, and
none of them really happened.
Yeah,
I'm hoping for the summer next summer. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, 2019 for me at least was an amazing year for shows. So I don't want to say it's appropriate, but yeah, nice way to send it off for a year or two.
One quick thing, Rock and Roll High School. My band right before toured with the Ramones. Have you guys seen that movie?
Yeah, I have. I love Rock and Roll High School.
I haven't. I just don't know where to like find.
It's awesome. It's awesome. No, it's fun. It came out. I watched it in I saw it in high school like 6 or 7 years after it came out. It's an awesome movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know where to find it. I don't know if it's on like Netflix or Demand or anything like that.
You could probably find it on YouTube. I have the DVD of it and maybe the VHS of it. Yes, I'm that old. But PJ Souls, I think that's her name, is in that.
Yeah.
She's in a bunch of 80s movies. And she went on to have like a career after that. And of course, Ramones, that was during the Road to Ruin album, like 78. And it's it's an awesome movie. I was like, that and Suburbia were like my two movies in high school. I don't know if you've seen that one, Suburbia.
I remember my dad telling me about that movie, saying it has like an amazing soundtrack.
Yeah, all like good early 80s like punk hardcore bands were in that, and it was like way before its time. Like it showed like reality of like kids like growing up in a messed up world, and they all kind of bond together as punkers, sort of kind of like my band.
I gotta be sure to check that out. But
that's an awesome shirt you got on, by the way.
Oh, thank you. But H2O, of course, has always been a mostly positive band. So have you guys been keeping a PMA through all this?
So yeah, that's the thing. Like this year was our 25th anniversary, officially our 25th.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Anniversary with like as a touring unit and everything. And 94 was our first show, which I actually wasn't a part of just yet. I was still in Toby, our singer's brother's band, Outcrowd. And then about 6 months after that, Todd and I merged into H2O 95, summer 95. And but we had a whole lot of stuff going on. Like I think I announce all our shows pretty much on social media and the internet and stuff. We all coordinate, but I'm sort of the guy that types it out. And I probably had to cancel or postpone or rearrange somewhere in the estimation of about 40 shows this year, maybe 50 shows.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's going back to like March, because we had a Europe tour. We had a Europe tour in July and April that was canceled, obviously. And then we had about 8 or 9 shows in March and April, some with Doug, and that was canceled too. And then we had like a Gorilla Biscuits tour on the West Coast, and then we were gonna try and hope to rearrange them for like the fall, and obviously that's not happening. So yeah, I would say somewhere between like 40-ish, 40 shows, and we were gonna add more as we went along, but since March, everything's crazy. But we're doing our best. You know, we're it's kind of, I mean, it's definitely weird. Like it's like a timeout. Like we're all in like no show. All bands, not just us, and luckily we're pretty positive people. We talk, like we text every day, all of us. We talk. Like I just got on the phone with Toby earlier. Forgot what he was asking about. But I just got off the phone with him earlier. I think we were talking about kittens and he was going to hike Runyon Canyon hike, but I just got 2 kittens and I'm getting them spayed in a week and a half, and sisters, and we're just keeping positive. Like it's been a rough year. I lost my 16-year-old cat over the summer, but we're all pretty positive guys. So we're just trying not to read too much, get involved in social media nonsense too, you know. But we're all pretty positive guys.
Yeah, it seems to be a running theme, but how do you feel about like drive-in shows and stuff like that? Or like a social distance show?
Yeah, so okay, so I have a lot of friends in New York City that work concert production, like big concert production, not like like arenas, stadiums, arenas, amphitheaters. And so I think there's a shot at next spring or summer, because the problem is, like, this is on that level, not like our hardcore shows level, but on that level the problem is they're going to have to be scaled back. Those acts are going to have to make less, you know, they're going to have to take less money. So I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to have size stuff and space it out. Or you're kind of seeing that now with like sports, where they're having like instead of 50,000 people, they're having like 5,000 people, but still, you know, they're losing money. They're just trying to make up something. I don't know for our shows. I don't know how they're going to do it. Like I saw something about a week ago where Ticketmaster was trying to do something where you would have to get a negative test proof.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And a vaccine proof through the app through a third party. I just don't know how that would work, because you would get StubHub involved. You'd have to get you know, there's
You
so
can just
many
screenshot somebody else's like negative test.
I think what I think they're trying to do something, but I just don't know how it's going to work, because they're going to have to put it in through an app that you're going to scan your ticket going into a venue, and you know, you got the test, you got a negative test. I just don't know how they're going to do that, because it's like it's going to take 5 hours to get 50,000 people in an arena to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like our shows, you know, I just don't know how they would do the spacing out thing, but I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's all going to be state regulated, all that, and you know, it's not going to be. I mean, I'm sure, you know, someone will try a DIY show, but I just don't know how until like next spring or summer. I just don't know how it's going to happen, unfortunately. But we'll see. You know, we'll see.
Yeah, a bunch of people have been like all for drive-in shows. Like they've been to drive-in shows, they've done one.
Yeah.
And other people have been like totally against it.
Right.
Yeah, there's really no in between.
Yeah.
I think like amphitheaters. So a good friend of mine who went to school with my wife. He's a concert production manager at Live Nation, like big time, like big venues, big arenas. Him and his assistant told me they tried to figure something out for like down at PNC, New Jersey, and like it's like an amphitheater, but it has a big open space parking lot, and they tried to figure it out, and it just, I don't know, like I don't know how they you'd have to have like 2 football fields size fields just to even think about it, you know.
Yeah, which is crazy.
I mean, I mean, if it's a way to play music and bands want to go to it, I think that's cool. But I just don't know how it's going to be feasible to have, you know, a lot of these parking lots aren't big enough for it too. But you're gonna have to have a field like Woodstock, like every city, all the country, to have a band touring that, just those kind of places, you know. But I mean, I give people credit for trying if people want to go see live music, which people really want to do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
I did see it started. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say a guy in Denmark did the first one, and it kind of spaced out. You know, went crazy all over the internet. Like, oh, what a great idea.
Yeah.
Logistically, I don't know how it would really work out. You know.
Yeah, like a jazz show, you could have that anywhere, because still there's only gonna be like 20 people showing up to that. But like a punk show, like even if there are those 20 people normally, like they're all spread apart, there's tables. But a punk show, everybody's like shoulder to shoulder.
I know.
Shoulder into shoulder.
I know. Definitely weird. I've been involved in the music business in, I would say, 33 years now, 33, 34 years now, and this has never happened before. So it's stuff you never really, like some people that I know that work at Live Nation have said like, oh, we're in the crowd gathering business now. Like it's like, you know, a whole nother word. I'm like, wait, I never even thought about that, you know. So like March or whatever, April. But it's a crowd gathering business. It's not the concept, you know. But I know what you're saying though. It's gonna be weird. Next year's, I mean, what are we in November now? Like I would say at least till next summer, it's gonna be tricky. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I would say probably about a year from now, there's a shot. Like if everything, you know, goes well, and you know, but then you're talking about, you know, earlier we were talking about the vaccine stuff. Like, you know, some people are going to take it, some people are not. You know, you know, my mom's very leery about vaccines. You know, but then other people aren't. You know, my mom had an issue with this is going way back, but I didn't know this when I was 5. 1976, there was a pandemic, a small pandemic on the East Coast, and it was the year Gerald Ford was running against Jimmy Carter. There was a pandemic, and it was Jersey. It was on the eastern seaboard coast, and my mom took a vaccine for it and had a really bad reaction to it. She told me this year. I never knew this. You know, I've known her my whole life. I'm like, really? You never told me? Yeah, I had like these like head issues, and my spine was acting weird. I was like, oh, so I can see why some people are like nervous about a rushed vaccine.
Yeah.
I get both sides of it, you know.
And I like, even if they're like vaccine works, we're not gonna rush right out.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be the first in line.
Yeah.
Like I want to see, like results first. You know, like if I don't get it and I just have to sit home, then I'll sit home. You know.
Yeah, like still when they say it's 90% effective, most of the time it's effective. But what if I'm not that most of the time?
Exactly. What if I'm the 10%?
It's definitely crazy, man. The last 9 months have been crazy, like stuff you never think about, but we'll see. I do think it's going to be tricky because my band, we go to Europe a lot, and I mean, we go to normal years, we go to Europe like 2 to 4 times a year. We went in January. That's the one thing at least we did something in 2020. We toured Europe in January. We toured with Billy Bio, Agnostic Front, Gorilla Biscuits, Wisdom and Chains. You know, it was a great tour. It was a really amazing, fun tour, and that was in January. And then when we got home, about 5-6 weeks later, was when stuff got crazy. But at least we did something, you know.
Yeah.
You guys just announced another European tour, right?
Yep. I think right now it's about 22 shows next August in Europe, but like I said, we'll see. But going back to the tricky part of Europe, like I don't know what they might be weird. Like, we can't really leave the country right now. So it's like,
Yeah.
are they
Yeah,
gonna be like, yo, you got the vaccine? All right, you can come in. No, you don't have the vaccine. All right, go to a hotel and quarantine for 2 weeks. Something like that. Like, but it's all speculation right now. Who knows?
yeah. From what you know about the shows right now, are you guys gonna have like COVID
Yeah.
restrictions implemented?
That I don't know. I think a lot of it's up to like the venues and
Yeah, it's
states.
their personal preference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like up here in Jersey, like we were doing really good, like all summer from about Memorial Day till like the end of September. And like there was a shot, like I was talking to Toby and Adam, and our governor was like, you can have stuff at quarter size. And we were like thinking, okay, maybe we could do like a show and do 2 shows in one day. And then about 2 weeks after that, they got bad again. So it was like, so now the governor's ready to shut stuff down again, I think. But
Yeah. There was an expected rise, like going on because of flu season and everything, and not everybody gets their flu shot to begin with, let alone the vaccine that they're working on. So like all the numbers are going up again, and I'm really curious and like in a bad way, like worried to see what's going to happen after the holidays, because a lot of people are listening to the advice and like, yeah, we probably shouldn't all get together, but no, there's people that haven't been listening since the first shutdown, so I doubt it's going to be any better now.
I know. Yeah, no, it's like usually every year we all do something, and this year we were like, I was kind of on the fence because I got these little kittens, they're like a couple months old, and like I can't leave them, whereas I had my 16-year-old, I could leave her overnight, it's fine, but these two are like biting everything in my house basically. But yeah, this year I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll probably lay low this year, I guess. But I was kind of on the fence of it anyway. But you're right, like a lot of people are gathering and stuff. So let me ask you all, what part of Baltimore do you all live in?
Oh, we both live in like the White Marsh area.
Okay.
Yeah, like White Marsh, Perry Hall, kind of.
A little north of Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like just outside of like the city.
Nice.
Yeah.
Our guitar player used to live in Fells Point in downtown.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I totally know this.
And we play shows like growing up when I was a teenager. I used to play shows in downtown. This place called the Marble Bar, and they would have like all great bands like Bad Brains, Hidden Rollins, Token Entry, Dead Milkmen. I played with Dead Milkmen there. It was my first real show. Like, it was a great venue. It was right in the middle of downtown, but in a really crazy area. like it was like, okay, I don't know what's gonna happen to my car. I don't know, but it was like crazy.
Is it safe to park here?
This is in about 86 or 87. I was like 15.
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, I don't know. There's the weird parts of Baltimore and then the not so bad parts.
Yeah.
I feel like that anywhere.
What's going on with the auto bar? I hear they're having like a fundraiser or something. Like
if that place shuts down, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
We played at a place a couple years ago with Casualties, and it was a nice venue, new part of downtown, right near the water, the harbor. Casualties, and I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but it was about 4 or 5 years ago, I think. But I just think if Autobar shuts down, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've seen a lot of great bands there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they're hosting like this like live stream, I think.
Yeah, it's like with a bunch of bands, like a huge set list, and it's really just to like raise money and support of the venue. So
that's cool. Yeah. No, we play there a lot. It's a great place. We play there probably about 4 or 5 times, I think, something like that. It's been a couple of years, but
Yeah, I haven't been there in a little bit, but
yeah,
I don't know. I always remember every show being super cool.
for sure. I think we
uh,
played there with Plastic Front once, Cruel Hands, and maybe I want to say maybe Battery, but it was it's going back probably about 6, 7 years now. Last time we played, maybe with Terror. We might have played there with Terror once too. But no, we love that. We love that place.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. There's the sound stage and yeah. On Agnostic Front, I was supposed to see them. They were playing at that place or was
Yeah,
supposed to in like August.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And now they rescheduled it to like May, and I don't think May shows
Yeah.
are gonna happen.
I don't think so
So
either, man. I think the summer is there's a shot at the summer, but there's gonna have to be a lot of cooperation with people. I don't know how it's gonna work.
yeah,
and
and
if
that's the
anything,
thing is like everybody's like, don't be a sheep, don't be a sheep. But if everybody else at the Trump rally was wearing one, I would too.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a crazy time.
it's
It's like the whole world's on timeout for like a year and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
it's just weird because like it's so simple to me, at least like personally, to just wear a mask. You know,
Yeah.
not go places you don't need to, not hang out with like 50 people. So I
Yeah.
just don't understand why everybody can't just like bunker
Yeah.
down for like a couple weeks
Yeah.
and then calm down,
Yeah, I don't get why wearing a piece of fabric over your face is taking away your rights.
Yeah.
I know, like,
I was just gonna say I found a picture of me 4 years ago. We were in South America on tour, and we were in South Brazil, and we had to fly from South Brazil to Los Angeles. It was like a 30-hour mission. And I found a picture of myself. I don't know why I took the picture, but I found a picture of myself wearing a mask because we were down there when Zika was going on, like
mm,
4 years, and it was a pandemic down there. It was like it wasn't as crazy as this, but it was like, you know,
yeah,
and I don't know what to think about it. I just took it. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. I found it way deep, strolling through my phone. I'm like, and I found it. It's like, oh, I wore a mask like 4 years ago. I started wearing a mask in like February before all this got crazy because I saw it coming. You could see it coming.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the weirdest part to think about is I can remember like sitting in school and like just hearing in like my history class, they're like, oh yeah, the first case happened in Maryland. And now it's like spread everywhere.
I remember being excited because the teacher was like, so the school may shut down. You may have to work from home.
Now you're like ready to go
Like,
back.
Yeah, didn't want to be here for that long.
Yeah.
Coming up on a
like
year.
it was supposed to be 2 weeks, and 2 weeks, awesome. But then 8 months.
not fun.
And there were like a handful of kids that were already wearing masks. And teachers were like chasing them down in the halls, and they were like, take it off, you're being obnoxious.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
And it's like
now.
Yeah, you're looking back on it and you're like, yikes.
I think like too, it's never really like we've never really had anything like this in 100 years. Basically, going back to the Spanish flu in 1918, like this country, there was a pandemic. There was a pandemic in the late 60s, 68, when I think it actually went into Woodstock. I was reading about it. My uncle, he went to Vietnam, and he was kind of a hippie, but he was telling me about it recently. But it wasn't like at this level, you know. It was like, a lot of people died, but not like this. But and then the little pandemic. There was a small pandemic in the mid 70s, but really, I think one of my parents had something polio or something in the 50s. Had a friend. Something, but nothing at this level going back 100 years till 1918. But people aren't used to wearing masks here, and it's not part of our, I guess, DNA here. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, and you're like, you never really thought you'd live through something like that. You know, like you're like I was saying, like history class, you learn about like plagues and like all these
Yeah.
flus happen,
It's like,
and then you're like,
haha, sucks to be them.
and it's like, yeah, it does suck to me then. You know, you're like,
This
yikes.
does suck.
Yeah.
I was
I
reading an
mean,
interview. Oh, sorry, I was just gonna.
no, you're fine. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was reading an interview with Stevie Nicks recently from Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks, and she was saying, this is like a quick like snippet of what she was saying, but it was like this pandemic is taking away my last years of my touring years because she's in
Yeah.
her 70s, and that part kind of sucks. I was like, damn, that
Yeah.
sucks because you don't really think about it, but
Yeah.
because she's always toured, she's always worked hard, like, and it's gonna be interesting. The good thing is like maybe there'll be a lot of music coming out from all this,
Yeah.
There already is a
Yeah.
lot. And then when shows happen again, it's gonna be crazy. Like people are just gonna be out, just excited to be on tour and shows. And I don't know if it'll happen early part of 21, but maybe the second half of 21, like a year from now. But we'll
Yeah,
see.
and we always
Yeah.
say that first show back is gonna be like the weirdest and the best thing ever.
Yeah, but I feel like there's gonna be like some like spillover from 2020 into 2021. Like it's
yeah.
not gonna be like a completely different time, like just because it's the new year.
Yeah,
But I
everybody's
think-
like 11:59, 2020.
I
and
know.
it's like I don't know, like it's not gonna be fixed immediately, but I do think
Yeah.
people have more hope in that sense that this year is kind of closed because like aside from the pandemic, like we started this year with all like the horrible fires, like there's been a lot of crazy things in 2020. It just feels like a game of Jumanji at this point.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's been, and then everything else, the protests and the marches and all the other stuff. This year it's been a crazy year for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. 2020 is either going to be a lot better or a lot worse.
I know. We'll see. I mean, like you said, I don't see it flipping overnight, but maybe last half of 21, maybe there might be some normalcy. I did see the other pandemics, like the other big pandemics, usually go about a year and a half to 2 years. So a year and a half will be next September. So that's what I'm hoping, but I'm trying to stay the glass half full, not half empty.
I know. I was gonna say even that's a little insane to think about. I mean, because it feels like like we just kind of got out of like that September stage of the year, so it's like
I know.
It's about to be December.
I know. It's.
It feels like it should be Halloween next week.
I know.
Yeah, like that, and like holidays have all been so weird. Like just getting together with people isn't really existent right now, you could say, but like Halloween was weird because it's like it's probably my favorite holiday, so it's like there's no way you could go trick-or-treating. That's like hundreds of people you're in contact with. That's insane. So I just kind of sat home and I was like, this sucks. Like I don't want to be the kid that isn't dressed
and
anymore.
I was like, if everybody wears a mask trick-or-treating, I don't have really a problem with it. But I sat outside and everybody that I saw, or like I sat outside on the deck, not to like hand out candy or anything. Nobody was wearing a mask. Like when the toddler running around isn't wearing a mask, so what? But when the adults aren't, then that's a little shitty.
Yeah. Because at that point, you're setting a bad example. Like, I cannot, like, everybody has struggles right now, but I cannot imagine what it's like to be, like, a 3-year-old right now. Like, trying to understand that kind of stuff. It has to be difficult. So, if they're not wearing a mask, it's like, but then when the parent
like my dad didn't wear one, so I don't have to.
Right. Yeah. So, when the kid's growing up and the parent isn't setting the example, it's like, it's weird.
Oh, I agree with it. Yeah, it's definitely like up in this area, New York City, New Jersey. Like we had it really bad early. Like from March till about May, it was really bad. Like, there was a period there for about 3 or 4 weeks where like I barely left my house. On top of it, I had a sick kitty, but that was a whole nother story. But it was really bad, and like back then they didn't know what to do,
Right.
you know, and then it got really good for a while, like for about 4 or 5 months it was like, you know, restaurants were open and
There's an
like
end
people
in sight.
Yeah.
and then it kind of, once school started, it seemed like it went crazy again. But I do see up here it's about 75% people wearing masks. Like our governor hasn't mandated it, but it's sort of close. Like you can't go in any store up here since April without a mask on. Um, but yeah, no, it's not mandated, but I think people kind of got the hang of it. But still, there's people having little parties in their houses, and people are getting sick, I think, from that too. But
Yeah,
people are also tired of it too. Like it's been 8 months, and people are like, "Oh, I just want to be normal," but it's not yet.
yeah,
You know.
in the city where where we live, there's a mask mandate, but
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
not just like for people in the stores. If you're in the city and you're just walking around, you still have to wear a mask.
Yeah, it's sort of
Yeah.
like that here. Sort of like that here. There's some people that don't, and like, I don't know if it's a political thing or what, but up this area, it's pretty good. Like we've had a little, uh, you a jump in cases up here, but where I live, it's pretty, like right next to New York City. It's pretty good. Like, but
Yeah.
yeah, at this point, I just don't know. I think just people are just tired of it too. Like, 8 or 9 months, and
Yeah.
you know, I see a bunch of skateboards in your background there. What do you got going on?
Oh yeah, I got a Steve Caballero. Let me lift my camera. I
Nice,
got a Steve Caballero board.
awesome. What's that poster there?
Oh,
You
and then
got a
I
big one?
got Filmage, and then the Beastie Boys, and then
Nice.
next to that, Dazed and Confused.
Oh, do you have the Beastie Boys book?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I went to the live like thing of it a couple years ago when it came out. That was awesome. Like they did a whole thing about the history of the Beastie Boys, and I got the book and stuff.
Yeah, and then they just released that documentary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I heard they're on the new Public Enemy record too. The two of them.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out.
They had like
So-
I think they had like a song or two on there.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, Todd, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
That was awesome. So how can I find this? Like, I want to see the ones with Adam and Ian McKay and Toby.
Oh well, Ian McKay doesn't. Ian McKay is going up next week. I'm not sure when this is coming up.
But
When when it is out, we will for sure send you a link.
yeah.
We have everything on our Instagram.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
check that. Send me your links. You guys can hit me up on there. I'm TF H2O on there.
Oh,
And,
okay. I'll go.
Okay.
Link up on there too. Yeah. We'll link up on there too, but I definitely want to check the Ian one out, and Toby and Adam, and who else have you had on so far?
Oh, I don't know. I think we've done like 30 to 40.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We had the Descendants on. Well, 3/4 of the Descendants.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Almost.
We had everybody. We just need Carl.
Yeah.
Peter, yeah, Peter.
Courtner.
Yeah.
We're trying to get him on.
Oh,
Doug said he talked to him and he said he would do it, but he's just, I don't know, the elusive Peter Courtner. We just had Steve-O on.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's
That was
awesome.
pretty crazy.
Yeah, we've had a bunch of cool people on.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, our interview with Tony Pence. He runs Celebrated Summer Records. That one goes up. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That's
But
awesome. You guys are doing this. It's cool.
oh,
Well,
thank you.
you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. It was fun. Stay
Um,
safe and be more. We used to call it bold more. Have a good holiday down there too, and I'll
Thank you.
definitely
You too.
hit me up on the IG. We'll link up on there, and have a good holiday, Thanksgiving, all that good stuff too.
All right. Thank
You
you.
too.
You too.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye bye.